What's up YouTube, it's TF Collector, and today I'll be reviewing the Transformers Studio Series number 14 Voyager class Autobot Ironhide. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging that Ironhide does come in. You can see on the front you have a nice picture of Ironhide there. He's number 14 from Transformers 2007 Studio Series Autobot Ironhide. 8-and-up Hasbro Transformers down the side, Generations and Takara Tomy. There on this side of the box you have a profile image of Ironhide. He is number 14 of Studio Series Voyager class Ironhide. On this side you have that same image zoomed out, Autobot logo there, authentic logo there. On the back of the packaging he is big screen inspired from the Mission City battle of the Transformers movie. He is Ironhide. Ironhide dodges missiles and returns fire as he answers the call to protect Mission City. He transforms in 27 steps. There is a backdrop included that we will check out later, and here are some other figures that you can buy, and there are reviews for all of these figures up on my channel, so if you want to check those out, go right ahead. This is a licensed GM product, and it is of course Hasbro. On the bottom, barcode; on the top, Transformers. And before we take a look at the figure himself, he does of course come with his instruction manual. Studio Series 14 Ironhide from Transformers. Nice picture of him there. He is a Voyager class 8-and-up Transformers Generations, and on the back, licensed GM product, Takara and Hasbro. Now moving on to Ironhide himself, we are finally diving back in to this review journey through the Studio Series line. We had a couple new figures recently, but we are finally back, and let's take at the details of Ironhide, take a look at them. Right up front you can see he is a GMC truck. Of course you see road armor there, nice bumper there, nice silver used on the grill, some yellow painted lights there, look very nice. The wheels are mushroom pegged on, not pinned unfortunately. You do have a little Autobot logo in there. Some nice windows going on in there, all translucent. Nice black down the side, 4x4 written there. Nice little gas can. You can see he does have a covered truck bed. Another Autobot logo here on the back, and GMC yet again. Red tail lights, black bumper there on the back. You see a spot for a little license plate there. Also a little hitch, I think is what that is, so that's a cool little detail. 4x4 also on this side, but in place of the Autobot logo you do have this nice silver detailing, which I think is very nice. And you do have your silver smokestacks, if I can hold the figure, some more lights up there, so that is very nice. And there is the bottom, and overall I think they did a great job recreating this Ironhide truck mode. My only complaint is this little piece sticking down here, and that you can kind of see the feet, and there's a little bit of gap right here, but overall I think they did a great job recreating the truck that we see in the movie. Now Ironhide here does come with not one but two accessories, and we'll take a look at each of them. First you get this blaster here, looking very nice. You see the silver here on the barrel, nice gunmetal gray and some nice black throughout. Overall looks very good, very accurate to the gun from the movie. And the other one we get is his other weapon from the movie. Once again, nice silver here on there on the front, and some more silver on the back. Looks very nice. Some black, that gunmetal gray. Overall a very nice looking set of weapons. Now these can store here in the vehicle mode, and basically you're going to take that tab there and tab it into this one. So just tab that in there, and then what you're going to do is take the tab on the bottom of this one, and you can bring your truck over and see that there is a slot there. So just tab that right in, and that is some not super elegant but decent storage that you can have for Ironhide there. And I do have a few comparisons here with Ironhide, so we'll just straighten them out and bring them in two at a time. First, we have Studio Series 04 Autobot Ratchet and Studio Series number 10 Autobot Jazz, so we can bring them in and see how the Autobot team is forming up so far. And you can see they are looking very nice so far. I think Bumblebee is number 49 and Optimus is 32, so it will be a while before we see either of those, but I think the crew is looking pretty good so far. And two other figures to bring in here are his wave mates, Studio Series 12 Voyager class Brawl and Studio Series 13 Voyager class Megatron. I think I forgot to mention that Ratchet and Jazz are both deluxe class figures, and these are both of course Voyagers. So you can see two tanks and a truck is what you get in this wave, and I think that overall this is a very solid wave of Studio Series Voyager class figures. And I think that's pretty much all to say about Ironhide's truck mode here, and I think he is very reminiscent of what we see in the movie. So overall, I'm very happy with the way the truck mode turned out. And with that being said, let's go ahead and transform Ironhide. So the first thing we're going to do is, of course, remove the weapons, set those off to the side, and we can go ahead and start. So the first thing we're going to do is come to these side pieces and just untab them from the sides. So untab that and swing it out. You can see that this tab here just goes into a slot right in there. Do the same thing on the other side here. Just untab that piece and bring it out. Now what we can do is move back to the legs here. You want to split them down the middle like so. Now you can come under here and you want to take these wheels and press them into the feet on both sides like so. Now what you want to do is come back here and untab this piece from the legs. So untab this, which can be a bit of a pain to do because it is quite the secure tab, but you can see that tab there just goes into a slot right there. So just swing that up a little bit. Do the same thing on the other side. That side came undone a lot easier. Just swing that up like so. Now what you can do is come to the feet here and you can begin to rotate them down and rotate this piece back a little further. Just bring the feet all the way down. Do the same thing here on the other side. Just start to bring the foot down, and you can also bring this piece back further like so. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take use of the hinge here at the back and you're going to bend this piece around, and basically what's going to happen here is this slot will go into, or this area of the truck rather will go into this slot or groove here in the leg. So just line that up and you're going to want to groove that in, so make sure you have it at the right angle and that should go right in that groove. Do the same thing here on the other side of Ironhide. Just line that up. I'm trying to do my best to let y'all see what I'm doing. This being a black figure, that is a little more difficult as the light is not getting all the good angles, but doing our best. Come here to the front grille and pull that down like so. You can see two tabs just go up under the hood, and now come back here and you're just going to take this piece and bring it up. So this entire roof assembly is tabbed into the arms. You're just going to want to bring that up. You can see that those notches there go into those tabs there, and just bring that back and we can start working on the upper body. So you're just going to want to swing this whole piece out so that we can begin working on the upper body. So the first thing we're going to want to do is come here and split the hood like so, and you can start to use the hinge that this hood is on to angle it back like so. Now what you want to do is come here to the arms, just bring them down and straighten them out for now. Then you can come here to the roof section and we're going to bring this piece forward. Not the roof, the hood, my apologies. And what we're going to do is, I'm not sure I can get a great angle of this. You're going to want to bring the head back a click. So just bring that back out of the way. Make sure these arms are out of the way. And basically what's going to happen is that tab is going to that slot right there. So just try to angle that as good as you can and tab that in like so. Do the same thing on the other side. Just swing that back and tab that in. And now what you can do is bring the head back down. And what's going to happen here is you can kind of see a slot there in the head, and there's a tab on the end of this piece, and that will just tab into the head and hold that in securely like so. Now what you can do, if it hasn't done it for you already, is go ahead and take that tab there and tab it in down there like that, and that will lock the upper body into place. You can now straighten his legs out, and we are at the home stretch of the transformation here. Just use this double hinge and bring this section around so that the arms are facing forward like so. Do the same thing on this side, bring that around, turn the arms so they are facing forward. Now what you can do is you can work on the backpack here. So what's going to happen here is this tab here is going to go into a slot right there. So just bring that up and tab that in. My apologies. First thing, you got to flip that in, and then you can bring that up and tab that in. Tab in. Tab in, please. Pretty please. I'm begging of you. He's not wanting to tab in for some reason, and my nose is having an itch. Tab that in like so. And now what you're going to do is take those slots, and they're going to go into these tabs here. So just slot these back. Use all your hinges, and that should tab in right there. Do the same thing here on the other side. Just bring this back, tab that in like so. And the last step, you're going to want to reach under here and get this piece with your nail. There are multiple different angles that you might have to take. I find that coming in from the top is sometimes the easier method to use, but this is quite the hard step to get done. You want to get your nail in there and you're trying to get this little piece out. You're trying to swing it down. Let me get a tool. And we're going to bring in this lovely pin here and we're going to use it to get this piece out. So just press that piece down and there it is. You're just going to want to bring that piece out like so. Do the same thing on this side. Just find a tool or use your nail, whatever works for you, and bring that piece out. And with all of that done, here is Voyager class Studio Series Ironhide in robot mode. And after a mostly enjoyable, other than that one last step, transformation, you get a pretty cool looking robot mode here for Ironhide. But coming in here on the finer details, you can see the face sculpt is very, very well done. You have a lot of black, a lot of silver, very, very accurate. You can see the mouth there. My only complaint is I've noticed this on most of these figures. There is a paint splotch in one of his eyes, so only one looks normal and the other does not. I don't know if that's movie accurate, but I have noticed that it is on most of the copies that I've seen reviewed. So perhaps it is a purpose thing, I'm not sure, but it seems like it would be an accident. Down through here, mostly black and gray, a little bit of silver there. Down the legs, mostly black, little silver there on those bits, but not a whole lot of paint going on down the legs. No paint really here on the arms. These sections are nicely detailed. You can see some pieces from the hood, including that Autobot symbol, do show up in robot mode. Now backpack wise, Ironhide is all good. There is no backpack really. Nothing to be complaining about there. So yeah, overall, I think that this Ironhide looks pretty cool in robot mode, but he could have used a little bit more paint. And articulation wise, here for Ironhide, the head is on a ball joint, so it can kind of go up and down, but it can also barely rotate side to side just due to the design of the chest. So not a lot of motion there for the head. The arms are on a 360 joint, but just due to the design, you can't really get the 360, but you can get them to go forwards and backwards. They can also move outwards, as you can see. They do have an elbow bend. They're 90 degrees. One cool piece of articulation you get here with this guy is a wrist swivel, so that is pretty cool. Nothing at the waist, unfortunately. The legs can go forward that far. They can go backwards that far. They can go outwards to a full split. You do get thigh rotation. You do, of course, get a very nice 90-degree knee bend, and no movement at the feet. They can actually move up and down a little due to transformation, but no tilting or anything like that. So when it comes to articulation, Ironhide is a little bit limited, and the lack of a waist joint or ankle pivots is a product of this being one of the original Transformers Studio Series figures. Now, of course, if you want, you can bring in Ironhide's weapons and we can arm him up. Now, from what I've been able to tell, I don't think there's any way to store the weapons in the robot mode. I could be wrong, but I haven't been able to find any. But who would want to do that when you can have him pointing his guns and saying, "Feeling lucky, punk"? So let's make him able to do that. You're just going to take this post here and plug it into the arm there on that side, and that will just tab in right there. And the same thing on the other side, just take the post and tab it in, and now you can have Ironhide all "you're feeling lucky, punk." And for a couple comparisons here with Ironhide, we'll scoot him back here, stay, and we'll bring in Studio Series 04 Ratchet and Studio Series 10 Jazz, so you can see how the Autobot team is shaping up so far, and I think so far the team is looking pretty darn good. And for a few more comparisons, we can bring in Studio Series 12 Brawl and Studio Series 13 Megatron, so you can see how this wave of Voyagers shaped up. And I will say, I think this was a very solid wave of Voyager class figures from the Studio Series line, and they all look very, very cool. And the last thing to talk about with Ironhide here is the display base that comes in the packaging. Sadly now discontinued, but I am a big fan of these display bases. You can see 14 Studio Series, Transformers, Generations, Authentic, Mission City going on in the back there, and you can plop Ironhide down there, and I think that's a very cool display option if you want to use it. So this has been my review for the Transformers Studio Series number 14 Voyager class Autobot Ironhide from the Transformers 2007 movie. And overall, I think this is a very well done figure. Now, some flaws and nitpicks that I do have with the figure. I do wish that piece there, the grill, could fold up there on the ends so that those pieces were not just sticking out like a sore thumb. I do wish the robot mode specifically had some more paint details, specifically on the legs, and here in this midsection it is very plain throughout. And other than that, now the alt mode I do think had some gappage problems, and you could see the feet in the back, which I was not a big fan of. Other than the details, the articulation is a little limited, especially in the waist and the ankles, so you can't get this guy into too many dynamic poses, unfortunately. But as for the pros, he is very movie accurate. He has an enjoyable transformation, other than the struggle of getting those little pieces out at the very end. I think the accessories are very nice. They complement the figure well, and I just love having this figure on the shelf. He's a very nice Ironhide. Now, I know he goes for very crazy prices on the aftermarket, so I'm going to say that one's up to you. If you're willing to spend $110+ for a Voyager class figure, you've got to think, when this came out, this was a $30 figure. So you're getting a $30 figure. You're not getting $120, $150, whatever he's going for now, dollar figure. Now, for a $30 figure, I absolutely recommend him. But when it comes to paying those extreme prices, that's a choice that you're going to have to make yourself. But overall, I think he's a very nice figure. I would rate this Ironhide an 8 out of 10 on my scale of rating things. So that's my review for Studio Series 14 Ironhide. Remember, don't sacrifice the things you love for the approval of others. I'll see you guys with more reviews soon. Until then, roll out. Peace.